Hello fellow 300ZX enthusiasts. I'm just going to do a quick video on how to find a boost or vacuum leak in your car. This applies to any car, kind of regardless of age. And I didn't make this method up, I came across it, but I've seen a lot of guys and they say a lot of complicated things like put your mouth on it or start the car and then use start your bastard or a butane can and listen for the increase in engine RPM. That's all way too hard and way too difficult and just takes way too long. So what is a vacuum or boost leak? So basically you can tell you've got one if your RPM needle bounces when the car is at idle. And so you're sitting at the lights, you're on your way to work in the morning, and if your needle's doing something like this, boing, 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 that's how you tell. So you can use that on any car. Now, what it'll be is it'll be one of your little rubber hoses will have perished or fallen off, right? So on this car, I had one perish so bad that the car actually stopped, and it was this one up under here that heads down to the carbon canisters under the bumper. I don't have those anymore. I've pulled them because they're not necessary and it's just more junk. So that is what it is, and it'll just make your car run poorly and it'll lack power. So how I test for it, and you will need a compressor with a regulator to do this, is I have this. So as you can tell, it's just a piece of ply. It's cut slightly smaller than the diameter of the intake, right? So all you do is you take your MAF off, you poke this in, and in the middle we've got a tyre stem. Right, so I went in to my local tyre shop with a fiver. I asked for a stem, I handed him this. The guy put the fiver in his pocket and I got my stem. So that's just drilled tightly and a tight push fit in there. So all I do is I take my tyre pumper upper, hook this into the end, I put it in the pipe, I set the regulator nice and low. So don't go pushing 120 psi from your compressor through your engine. I kind of start quite low, so about 10 psi, and then I work up to maybe 15, 20. Now, I mean, is this in the handbook? No. Is there some risk there? Well, there's some risk in everything. The way I kind of think about it is there's a great chance that on one of these 6 cylinders in the stopped timing configuration, there's simply a through path. So any air you're pumping in, you can see, right? Or it will pass through the engine out your exhaust fairly harmlessly. Now, there is one thing you're going to want to do on this car. So this is the left-hand side. So obviously we've got our IAC and our cold start valve. Now, we want to, or if you really want to test it, you want to take the hose off and you want to cap the manifold here, and you want to take the hose off and you want to cap it back here. Now, that will of course preclude you from checking these, but what you'll find is down here in your idle valve, there's already a lot of small orifices which are open and they do hiss, so it sounds like a leak, so it's a little confusing. So all I do is I get my little setup plugged in, I squeeze the trigger, and I just put my ear up close to the engine and I listen for the hiss. Just all you got to do is listen for the hiss. When you think you found one, get your soapy bottle of spray water, spray it on and look for the bubbles, and when you find your bubbles, you've found your leak. So I've been using this method for a good 8 years now, I suppose, on all my cars. Works beautifully. None of them have vacuum leaks, and it really does make the car drive better. So that's how I find them if you need to find yours.